Well, let's check the audio. Looks like we're rolling right along. Let's roll the open. Here we go. Little happy hour time. I swear it's going to come to your way in three, two, one. Here we go. All righty. Good to see you guys on. Pull the audio down there. Good to see you guys on Wednesday. Welcome to a little virtual happy hour. Began, oh gosh, March. You know, the exact date. Let's see. We came back from Belize. It had been the tail end of March, around March 28th or so. I got to look at that official date. Is it in March? Started this kind of as a chat, more or less. It was the initial Zoom kind of deal. It was kind of that initial Zoom craze, but we did it right here. Just me chatting with you and just having a conversation about whatever. And it's kind of like that show. It's the show where you go to the bar and the pub or wherever you hang out, coffee shop, you talk to your mates, place you go to. Maybe it's like my granddad used to go to the cotton gin and spend his time chatting away with those folks. I don't know. It's something like that. But it's what we do here. We just kind of kick it and chat around a bit. Well, it began as a diversion from what at that time was a pandemic lockdown. Had the lockdown has been eased in various places, up and down. Uh, yeah, March the Whenevereth is a very good way to put it, Kevin. Very good way to put it. March Whenevereth. I think we're on March. Uh, we've lapped, almost going to lap the field here. Close to that. Well, February's what, a week away. So another month will be a year at this. Anyway, where I was going with all this was that this up for you guys. I didn't check the temperature today. It was cooler this morning, I believe 40s at 47 ish right now. So anyway, 47 degrees. Actually, put that on the screen for you. Long story, but I guess I'll put it up anyway. There is a story here, I guess. 47. Probably should have done this maybe in show prep, but Perth game notes done. Perth. There we go. Let's do that. I'm gonna see Madeline. Of course, my wife's down there. Probably hear me a little. Where I was going with all this whole, we began this thing way back in the old days. We began it just a couple days into lockdown. We kept it going during lockdown. Came out of lockdown, went back into more of a lockdown, so to speak, and basically, as my mom will join us in just a moment, heard from her in about a week. Long story short, guess who else kissed his wife on Sunday, and guess who came up? Bing, 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 bing. We have a winner, folks. Not the test I wanted to pass. If all the tests I wanted to flunk in my life, and there's lots of them, this is the one I wanted to flunk. I didn't want to pass this one at all, and we'll go to my mom for reaction here in just a moment as we load her in the system here. Here we go.
Yeah.
And it's going to make me dizzy.
Hello, Danny. I can't get him through. Oh, he disappeared.
No, he's still waiting to see you.
I guess I lost my audio. Okay, well, Jim, is my audio on? I guess is my thing there. Let's try. We'll bring Mom down a moment and we'll see if she'll come back and try again. Anyway, okay, well, all good. Mom may or may not join us. She sounded like she was out and about. Do you guys? Yeah, okay, I'm hearing myself. All good. Hey, Georgette. Hello, good to see you. Mom said like if I didn't know better, and well, I don't know better. She's at the Artisan, maybe. Look like the brick walls in downtown Elkhart, I think. But yeah, at the Artisan, she said. So she had a little bad reception there. She couldn't hear me, but Mom was there. She does know. So anyway, yes, welcome to the world of COVID positive diagnosis. Me and the COVID queen are rocking and rolling here over in the city of Dallas, in All Hollow, Preston Hollow. Um, Although tomorrow, let me rewind the clock here. I felt fine well, Monday when I was on the air. I felt fine with you guys. Watched Tech lose in the last moment, which probably upset me a little bit because the dog's still pissed about it. A little bit of a light cough, but I didn't have anything major. Woke up Tuesday, dragging tail. I mean, I slept in, but still was dragging. I actually sat in my chair yesterday afternoon preparing for doing the game notes. And really was trying to cut up audio or video and audio for Paul Morgan and I to repurpose for our show in Australia. And I literally had the show going in my in my earbuds, and I dozed off. I was pretty tired. Woke up middle of the night last night. Did have some fever. Had those chills. Actually, to put on a shirt like this. Dang near did my normal routine to jump in the hot bath, but I didn't. I took some Advil. Felt fine. As a matter of fact, ran about 90 something this morning. 90 was it? 95. But when I went to get tested, I was 88. Vitals were all good. Blood pressure, thumbs up. I've learned one thing that A, everybody gets affected differently. B, there's no rhyme or reason to it. You can't kiss your wife, but you got to kiss your wife, so I was going to do it anyway. As a matter of fact, the reason I kissed my wife, to be honest with you, is I was going to church on Sunday, and she did not go because she was a little tired. She had not tested yet. So I had to be the good husband and force the smooch before I went to church. And those smooches probably cost me the positive diagnosis. Wife feels better though. She temperature was down today. I don't think she had it at all. And here's the crazy part. On Monday, I walked. Of course, I've had the major weight loss. We're about 80 pounds, something like that. Yay me. Um, I walked 73 minutes on Monday. I walked 63 yesterday, not feeling my best, and I still made 43 today before I went to test. And actually, I was telling the oldest out in Lubbock on the phone earlier when I was walking this afternoon or this morning, and it was cold. It was in the 40s. Uh, a little tired, but as far as the joints and all that, no worse than normal. It's a little windy going up the hill, but I usually don't have no problem with that. I mean, I've gotten to the point now where used to be I drug my bags to the airport or from the bus to the broadcast booth, and I was huffing and puffing. That ain't happening anymore. I can carry my bags, whatever. My trip to Kansas City was a breeze last week. I actually parked down the hill from the hotel downtown and had no problem rolling my bag, carrying my other bag up. I wouldn't. I mean, I told you guys I walked the hills of Kansas City. Wasn't an issue. Walked 13 minutes to the power and light. I would have Ubered back in the old days, but I don't do that anymore. So my point is, I felt great when I was doing my workout this morning. A little winded when I came back, and then I took a bunch of stuff. We're taking all kinds of stuff. I'm going to see Pedro there. Feeling better. We're taking dang near everything. I mean, I took a fistful of dollars, but it wasn't only dollars. Fistful of. It was all my normal meds. Then my normal vitamins times two. We take the D's and the C's and the G's and the F's and all that. I mean, we take the alphabet, if you will. The in-laws brought over some oregano tablets. I've never heard of such a thing, but boy, they smelled like oregano. They smelled awful. So did do that. Did good to see Tracy. Good to see Donna out there in Kansas City. Pedro down in Florida. Cabin up the Twin Cities. So um, I don't know exactly what to say because I felt crappy overnight, but felt much better today. I don't know. And again, my wife has felt, but there's also a lot of folks that scuffle with it. I mean, and I was talking to the doctor today, getting my diagnosis back, and she first thing she asked me was how I felt, and I told her I said, really, I didn't feel terrible. I did my workouts, and my vitals were all good. And she asked me, some other questions, and some of the things that have been bad have not been happening to me. So I'm very thankful for that. Although, and this is the next thing, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, obviously, and play one on TV either. Um, but because of my weight and my body fat, was it the body percentage index or whatever, even though I've lost weight, I still am overweight. So I mean, I've lost. I mean, when you get to 412 or whatever I was, 413, even though you drop down to 323, that's still it's a drop. It's a drop in a small bucket, if you will. So even though I've lost a good portion of weight, and the suit literally fell off me last week. I couldn't even wear my suit. I had to go to another suit which barely fit me as well. That's all the story. Um, Thank you very much, Tracy. Appreciate you so much for saying that as the screen comes up now. Johnson, good to see you as well. So that being said, um, it's weird, and we were talking today. The doctor and I were talking. It's a weird thing because it looks like that mine's mild, but there's no guarantees. I mean, it could turn with the worst. And I was talking to Paul Morgan, my mate in Australia, 7 to 10 days for folks who really have it bad. And here's the thing: this is almost a year to the day. Kobe Bryant passed a year ago yesterday. That was the day I really got sick in Australia a year ago, and Paul and I were crooked for a whole 7 days. But I mean, I pounded Advil big time, ibuprofen big time. He did too. We got through the broadcast a couple of days later, traveled across country. Basically, he and I were in a cave in Sydney at a hotel, just out for about 16 hours for our flight back. I mean, we didn't go out in Sydney. We didn't go out in Canberra except to get food to broadcast the game. Literally slept before the game that day. We slept until like 4:30, 5 o'clock for his 7 o'clock game. He really showed and goed, if you will. But I was convinced I had it then, so I was maybe a little naive. But again, and the thing is, there was an outbreak at St. Mark's, where my wife teaches, so I'm not surprised there. They actually canceled games on Friday. They're virtual this week, so it all worked out for her teaching wise. Probably got it that way. I was fine in case and we weren't around each other for 3 days last week, so I was gone, and everybody, was not around. I felt fine up there. Again, I didn't feel bad till yesterday, and then got tested. And it was going to get tested tomorrow. Went ahead and moved it up a day because I did run fever last night. The good news is, I guess, is that tomorrow I'm going for a procedure that was recommended by my doctor and others, including my some family members who are in the medical field, to do the Regeneron intrusion, Regeneron infusion. It's probably an intrusion too. I don't know. But it's a 3 hour process tomorrow afternoon. So it's a 3 hour window. And when she was telling me the doctor was going, yeah, you go at 6, you can go at 10, you can go. She's named all these times. I'm going. It's kind of an odd scheduling. It sounds like the Dr. Pepper clock, right? And I was like, okay, lunch or after would be good, maybe, because I figured I'd be sleeping. Thought I'd be tired. Regeneron infusion. That's it. And she said, this kind of gave me a chuckle. It's what President Trump had when he got it. And I, of course, had the tongue-in-cheek joke that, well, he got voted out of office, but hopefully I won't get voted off the island or my house or my job or my civilization or whatever. But basically, from what I understand is, even though my symptoms at the moment are sort of Midland to Odessa, they're kind of just right there. Um, it could, and my wife said she had a couple of stretches where she felt pretty good that went bad again. And the kids that have had it, that she's taught, the boys have told her the same thing, that there's been ups and downs in it. Not to vote it off my good. At least I get to stay on some island. It may not be San Pedro Bay, but at least it's this one, right? I can't wait to get to San Pedro Bay. I may not leave my hammock on the beach for about 6 days. Oh, but anyway, so I'll find out. Apparently, this is a lot like, it's not the vaccine, but it's a lot like it, because what I was told, it's apparently kept at like 200 degrees below zero. When it's kept it really frozen, and they got it thawed out, and it's not a shot. It's intravenously, and takes some time, and then they monitor you to make sure you're okay. Well, knock on wood, um, I have not had any allergic reaction to any kind of meds over the years in general. I mean, that I know of. I had allergies to things as a kid, and to dust is pretty much my only thing I have allergies to. And mean people, no. And walks, that also gets under my crawl. Yes, the trip will be so needed. We are head of the island in March again. Um, it's a anniversary, or not anniversary. It's anniversary of our trip last year, where we threw out the Rome trip out the last minute. We're literally, I had 10 days to plan a new trip. I mean, I found out Caroline was coming home on a Sunday. We were supposed to leave. Well, it was less. It was we were supposed to leave the 13th. Okay, she let was a. I want to say it was March 1st. We were supposed to leave the 13th. Maybe it was March 2nd. It was a Sunday night, 1 a.m. It was third. It was the third in Rome when she called us at 1 a.m. and let us know she'd be coming home on Wednesday. So we had to call total. And I had just taken care of everything was all rental car, place in Tuscany. Everything would have been paid for. We were all set. Mom was all set. We were all sorted, and it fell apart. We had to do an audible, and we went to Belize, which in hindsight was a pretty daggum good place. We actually loved it. My wife did all the cleaning today. Yes, she's wiped out. Here's the deal, and this is kind of the humorous side of her. She is the COVID queen cleaner, because even during this COVID diagnosis, she's cleaning the house like crazy. I will admit I've kept the house the kitchen very good, because I've been on COVID nurse duty, up waters and cooking dinners and all that. It needed some vacuuming downstairs, and I took over Caroline's room, as I told you guys, on Monday. She's down the hallway from our room. Well, the good news is the doctor, and this is funny. My wife texts me, make sure you ask the doctor if it's okay that we can share the same room again. And I was kind of thinking, well, is that really a good idea? I mean, do you want to push her backwards into, if my COVID was stronger than her COVID, and my Corona was a better Corona than her Corona was, or vice versa? But apparently that's not an issue. So yeah, I got to be back into my room this afternoon. Uh, with my toothpaste, my toothbrush, and my shaving gear, and all that stuff. So I'm back in my bedroom and my bathroom. So yay me, and back in my bed. So that'll help too. So anyway, that's the story. Crazy. I was thinking, because we are on the list for the vaccine, that I would. I got to tell you, I kind of thought and especially with all the substitute teaching I've done. And that's been, gosh, I probably substituted 40 days. I mean, I've had stretches where I've done 2 weeks straight. So, I've done two stretches of 2 weeks straight. That's 20 days right there. And a couple of 3-day weeks and carryover weeks and things like that. So, Corona White with lime. Yeah, there you go. So anyway, so that's the story. But yeah, I thought I'd survive it. I mean, survive it. I mean, I'm praying to survive it, but I thought I would. And again, we didn't let our guard down. And we didn't do anything different than we normally. I've flown 3 times since this. Well, four. I've flown 4 round trips since this whole thing hit, and I usually would fly about 40 round trips a year. It didn't freak me out flying. We've been to basketball games, didn't freak me out. We've been to an outdoor concert, didn't freak me out. I mean, I've been going to church regularly. I think the church has done a great job. In general, I kind of double check to make sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. But everywhere I've been, including Los Angeles for a few hours on a mileage run, they were all wearing their mask, and that was. So I don't think anything caught up to us. I just think that it finally got through the wickets, if you will. You use a cricket term, or maybe a soccer term, or even it snuck one by the goalkeeper. If you want to talk it like that. I mean, we really, yeah, get out. My wife says, did you give a get out of jail date? No, they did not. I think it's on the paper. They give you a paper and tell you what to do and all that. I think, but here's the cool thing. My doctor that I met today, she's actually going to be at this place tomorrow, and she said she's going to check up on me, and I felt better. So I mean, I'm like, I feel like I'm in pretty good hands. I can be a real asshat when I'm not feeling well, and I don't want the Dart shuttle to Parkland either. It's not a place I want. I've been there once before, and that was enough. Overnight there with a concussion and nearly getting killed in a car wreck was plenty. I don't want to go back down there again. So try to avoid that. Again, and here's the thing: we've not changed. And again, and that's what she said. We've done all the right things. I mean, I think one of the reasons we've not been sick is the mask. I think in general, and the washing in the hands. And I've subbed, and the kids around the room. I've got my mask down when they're there. I'm in it, whatever. And I've maybe let my guard down here and there, but I hadn't subbed since last Tuesday. Um, which also that's another thing. I can't sub at all. And I was going to be able to sub all week this week and most of next week, but I that's off the table. Now, that's the thing. Because of this thing, I can't work. And again, it's part time, but I don't pick up my seasonal salary in Kansas City until the season starts. So I need every little one I get, little thing. I've been fortunate this year to basically pick up a second job because substitute teaching usually just kind of a normal year I'd fill in maybe once a week, but I'm in, like I said, 40 some odd days probably. So they need me, and now they don't have me for 2 weeks at least. I'm not scheduled to be back there until I believe my next day back there is the fourth, third or fourth. I've got on the schedule there, I think. And I felt terrible. I was supposed to sub. I mean, they offered me a whole week this week, and but the time I didn't. At the time, I was exposed to my wife, so I had no choice. And then I tested, and it winds up, bingo. So yeah, so feel free to send donations. Yeah, well, yeah. I'm sure we're all the same boat, and that's the thing. That's the tricky part. And heard a little news today. I got no problem with folks going to work, and I got no problem with them saying that CDC saying kids can go to school. I got no problem with that. I'm not getting the politics of it. I know that supposedly it's going to be solved when we get an election that was going to solve it all, but there's some backtracking there now. I mean, I don't know. I guess the point is, I mean, I don't. We can second guess all we want to, but I think we all, you know, we're going to get a stimulus, but that's not going to. I mean, the thing is that stimulus check's great, and I'm very thankful for it. But is it really going to cover all those folks who've lost days and days and days of work? Especially, I mean, I got a friend of mine who I'm in church group with. He was out. He was in the hospital for 6 weeks. I think he was in hospital for 6 weeks, and he was 7 weeks really, really bad. Another 4 weeks scuffling, and he was just telling us 2 weeks ago, around the first of the year, he was just able to get up and down his stairs up in Frisco. This is a guy in his late 30s, early 40s, and last I saw him with the Bible study group, he was still hooked up to whatever little breathing thing. So he's totally been out of whack for his job and all that. So I mean, I, the crazy thing, it affects us all differently. So anyway, I had not thought this was going to be the show today. I originally thought we'd go back and visit Kansas City, air fryer wings and whatever, but this is pretty good stuff. So, well, yeah, again, I've got the point. The song, politics, religion, and her. I will talk about my lovely wife because she's the best. I don't mind talking about religion, except on the air. On the broadcast, I won't. But politics is just a waste of my time. I mean, it's what I said before, and I said this, and my wife can vouch for this. I was pretty convinced that Biden was going to win. I knew he was going to win because the way the other guy acted. I knew that. I knew that going in, and I knew the promise of a better day. Of we're all going to suddenly wave a wand and get better. Well, we waved a wand, and I got sick. So do I blame that on the new administration, the old? I mean, again, it's all politics, and they've waffled back and forth, and now they're saying more are going to die. I mean, all this. I mean, I thought, again, it's not a political issue. Wars, which this is supposed to be treated as what I just heard today, as a wartime thing, are not treated as politics. You know what happened when we did that in Vietnam, and we unite. We've had this conversation together before. We unite. Anything's possible. When we splinter, it's a mess. So anyway, yay, getting to be a victim now. Whatever statistic. I do believe they report these statistics to the county as well. So anyway, but I feel good enough to do this show. I could probably didn't feel that good to do it yesterday. I'd have been like, but I do feel like there's a little fever, a slight body ache. I don't feel 100%, but if I had to call a game today, I could. Um, if I had to go walk 30 minutes outside the cold, I could do it. I don't know. I don't know what I'll feel like tomorrow. I may want to sleep all day. I don't know until 3 o'clock and I get my thing. So anyway, that's the deal. So anyway, thoughts and prayers, appreciate it. Much love. Um, it was an interesting experience. I've been tested twice, and my wife's been tested multiple times. So, what I did notice today, though, is before when we did the test around Thanksgiving, they did both nostrils. Today they just did one. It made my eyes water. I was like, yeah, that's all we need. It's like as if she knew like, oh, there's like a COVID beeper that went off. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, that's all we need. We know he's got it. So anyway, I'm very thankful for healthcare and for my wife. So that's very good. So anyway, that's our situation here, which I don't know what that means for beer tasting on Friday. I guess I gotta ask the doctor that tomorrow. Can I taste beers on Fridays? Do I have to wait for another 2 weeks? Do I do a show tomorrow night? I don't know if I'll be able to do a show tomorrow night. Uh, Again, just glad to have her around and be. I guess the good news is that because I don't know how much we could have kept up being apart in the same house for so long. I don't know how we could have done it. And so I guess this is a blessing in disguise, so to speak, that we can sort of, we're going to be in quarantine together. So we were locked down together. Now we're in quarantine or whatever you want to call it together. So, uh, taste has not been an issue so far. But that's bad for a fat kid because I like taste. I tell you this, last night, my little dessert concoction of pineapple with a little chocolate sauce to the side, locale, was tasted fine. My coffee, yeah, same thing. So, thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it. Had some delicious fried shrimp last night in the air fryer. It was really good. As a matter of fact, I've been craving that Eatsy's turkey meatloaf, and I was going to order it today, but I need to order it tomorrow, get delivered. But yeah, so again, I think down the road, and you guys can chime in here. Down the road, we're going to look back, and there's going to be something we're going to find out, whether it be type whatever blood or certain kinds of homes or whatever. We're gonna have something that's going to be discovered down the road that avoided this for a lot of people. The symptoms were different, and I think it's going to help us for the next time we have whatever it's going to be because they're predicting there could be more. So that's the crazy thing. Anyway, what do you guys got? I don't have a lot, um, except for that announcement. So, but I got to admit, I was a little fearful yesterday, very fearful, scared. Um, when I woke up with fever in the middle of the night, definitely was scared. But when I took the ibuprofen and went with a shirt on, went back to bed, and I woke up sort of. Put it this way, when you get sick and you wake up the next day, and in the next day, over the course of days, it gets worse, and then finally it kind of starts to gradually get better. Well, I haven't had this. I've had this. Really haven't kind of had this. So maybe that's it. So just got last vaccine Friday. Yeah, we'll get it. I know we're on the list. I know, but and I guess my thought was, Tracy, in the back of my mind, that we would get it before we got it, or vice versa. We get the vaccine before we got the corona, but it's sorry I keep calling it corona. I watched that ridiculous show that my wife's got me hooked on, that Real Housewives of Dallas, and they're calling it the corona. They filmed it last summer or whatever. They were calling it the corona, which is sort of ridiculous. But yeah, I guess need to get more vaccines out, don't we? But I did see where California was going to relax. They did relax their stay-at-home orders. So the folks out there, I guess, they'll still want to escape to here. But oh well. Lorona, there you go, Lorona. Sounds like a name of like Lorona's like. Where are you guys going tonight? I'm going to Lorona. Oh, Lorona, yes, they have the best tacos al carbone in town, and the best queso. It's queso flammeada in town, the La Rona. And a mean margarita and a really good skinny blueberry margarita. That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? All right, I don't got much else. Except, again, I was going to talk a little bit more about the air fryer wings that we did on, but I'll just scrap that until the next time I do it. And because we're going to get to Friday. Friday, I got to come up with, Friday, obviously, will come up with a lot of updates about what happened tomorrow. Because that'll be, I mean, this is going to be, yeah, I know you're hungry down there. You should have jumped on, babe. I don't know why you didn't. Uh, This will be a new one for me. This will be a new. I mean, my colonoscopy was a new thing, one that I wasn't looking forward to. This will be a new one. This is one where I'll be sitting there. I guess it'll be kind of like giving blood, but they're going to be giving it back to you. So, well, good. So Friday, I don't know what we'll do. I don't know if we'll do beers or maybe Friday I can kind of pull up the air fryer or something. What are you doing, man? Yeah, but I thought you were gonna like jump on from down there and not breathe your strain on my strain.
They're probably the same strain.
No, well, if I kissed you, well, I didn't. I did kiss you. So the moral of the story is, was it worth kissing your wife to get the Lorona?
The jury's still out.
Yes, and let me in my defense though, because I sweet on Sunday, forcing you to kiss me before I went to church.
Yes.
So that's all on me. Yeah. So
but I didn't think I had COVID.
I could have high-fived you and just go, well, you were a little run down. But I never thought I know there's no way in the world. As a matter of fact, when she texted me, I was in the kitchen I was putting the seasoning on the chicken wings and my hands had chicken and I saw it. And I'm like,
yeah,
sucks. So anyway, how are you, man?
I'm on the mend. I'm a couple of days ahead of you.
So, but yeah, God, my face looks like, look at that. Feeling that.
Well, don't do that.
Hello, everybody.
That's
I
just
got an
extra
face.
It's just extra skin because you've lost a lot of weight.
Gosh, I hate that. That face looks terrible.
No, it doesn't.
The shirt's so tight.
Here,
though.
there you go.
Now like a facelift, like old folks in Hollywood get. Like that.
You look fine.
Yeah. So anyway, so you're all much better then.
Well, I'm better today. I'm a couple of days ahead of you. But Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'm 3 days ahead of you.
We're pretty similar. I mean, my temperature was 88 earlier.
That's so weird. That seems too low.
I know. I looked right at it too. I was like, huh? Then I was 90 this morning?
99.2. You were running temperature almost exactly like mine, just really low grade.
But after I walked and all that, I don't know if it was just being outside or what. I don't know what it was, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, so tomorrow we'll have the update. Friday, I guess Friday, babe, we probably won't have beer testing. We might, but I don't know if it'll be. When can you start drinking again?
They didn't say you couldn't do anything. Just have COVID. That's it.
How about that? We'll open the bar up on Friday and get sloshed on the show live, and we'll
spill another bottle of tequila.
Like those gals on Real Housewives of Dallas that tequila all over the place.
Tequila? I didn't see.
Yeah, I watched the episode last night.
Well,
because it was on, and I was waiting for the show to come on, and I
haven't seen it since we watched that one episode.
Yeah, they were tequila all up. They were all wearing their masks and calling, and it was crazy. Yeah.
Now I've watched all of our masks, so they're all clean. I don't know why. Now we don't need them.
Oh, good. Well,
the nice thing is like when we head out of town, like we'll still mask because it's the right thing to do. But
do you think
nice not having to worry about getting it?
I think we'll have the vaccine for us by the time we go to Belize. What you think? I shouldn't even said that. But you know what? You want to shame me for that? Whatever. I don't think people. Well, I mean, people are travel shaming people, and they'd really be mad at me if I was, because usually I'm in Australia right now, so they really hate my guts. By the way, they've got no issues over there except for just like 9 outbreaks.
What did you ask?
I asked you, do you think we'd have the vaccine by the time we go to Belize?
I don't know. I hope so. I'm still a little miffed that they didn't put teachers who are teaching in person, consider them frontline workers, but whatever. I mean, teachers are not dropping like dead flies, but
as a matter of fact, today when I was there getting tested, that in this facility is where all the St. Mark's teachers go, and they've had an outbreak at St. Mark's. You teach, and there was a guy coming out in a St. Mark's ball cap and his mask, getting in a 4-door big sport utility vehicle. Yeah. I didn't stop him and say, "Hey, you must be part of the St. Mark's strain," but again, he kind of.
I got an email that 3 more tested positive today. I don't know if you were in that statistics. It just says members of our community, and technically you're a member of our community.
Yeah, I was chosen to go to St. Mark's years ago, and look what's got me now. I'm part of the community. I'm also part of PCA community. It's the baby Jesus community.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, and I was supposed to, like I said, sub all week. So, yeah,
Off and come
I don't know what the
back.
timeline, but what is this timeline for the vaccine in Dallas County? Do you know?
No, because we're supposed to all get vaccines like pronto. We're supposed to get a stimulus check within a day, and like nothing's happened.
Good on you. All right, babe. I'll be down for dinner in just a moment. Anyway, that's the show. I mean, again, what's kind of fun about this is kind of like my broadcast on the air with the Monarchs, is that you prepare for a really tight pitching duel. Sometimes you got two aces going. You're thinking, okay, this could be a great pitching matchup. You know, 1 versus 1, and there winds up being a run scoring fest, or one guy gets scratched or gets called or gets sold to a big league club, and suddenly it's a different matchup. Or and that's what's so cool about baseball, about sport in general. Yeah, the numbers kind of tell you certain things. Pretty much told you last week that Tampa could win that game, that Kansas City should win that game, and that's what happened. But there's always those times where Kansas City's favored to win that game, the next one, where it might not happen. And that's kind of what makes sports so much fun. It's what makes these broadcasts so much fun, because really on Monday, I'm thinking totally different about the broadcast. And boom, today I had a totally different experience that I share with y'all. And it was actually, and I'll say this in closing. I thought I thought what the care that people are giving, and we've been tested in 2 different places. I thought it'd been great. They've been 2 different parts of town. The people have been phenomenal. They've been very understanding, very cool. I can't even stress enough, and I feel for those folks, because where I'm at, I mean, literally, you pull up, you put the number in. What you do is you pull up, you text the number that you're there, and they send you the forms, and you've already filled out, or if you haven't, you got to double check them. And they let you know you can come in, and you let you in one at a time. But there's 2 young ladies behind the desk, and I'm thinking these people are all exposed to this. Now, granted, a lot of them have the vaccine, but they've been doing this now for months without it. And I feel for those folks. That's why every day I'm praying for my sister-in-law and my sister, who are out the front lines every day with this stuff. But the amazement is that they were able to keep their wits about them, treating people with care and dignity, and not. And I really felt like I was going to get like stamped on my forehead and shut out the back door. There you go, folks. But it wasn't the case at all. Okay, so Friday, we'll be back on Friday. I don't know about tomorrow's Australia show. Got to check with my mate, Paul Morgan. I'm glad you guys checked in from all over the world again. I know we have a lot today, except we're just talking about my diagnosis, but thoughts and prayers for us. We appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. Wear the mask, wash your hands, and I will tell you this: you don't want it, but if it happens, with the right things, we're going to hopefully beat this. And I don't want anybody to get it. What I don't want people to go through is the anxiety we've gone through in our house. That's what I don't want people to get, and I don't want to see that at all. It's tough. Anyway, love you guys. Virtual hugs, as we always do. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today. Let's love more tomorrow than we did today. Let's be kinder, gentler. Let's appreciate it. Prayers up for everybody. Let's be better human beings. Want to get through this thing, regardless of where we voted, where we live. Fight on, fight on. I think the better thing is love on, love on. That'll really help a lot. So that's it. That's it. What I got. It's all I got for you guys. We'll come back on Friday. Maybe beers, maybe not. We'll find out. But just join us. 5 o'clock Central Time on Virtual Happy Hour right here on my own personal Facebook page, where the broadcaster kind of just chats to chat, so he can work on his chatting to chat. Love you guys. See y'all then.